Hello, wonderful people. Welcome to today's Tuesday Talk. Coming to you live from all sorts of wonderful boxes as we get ready to move our life to Gloucester, Virginia on Saturday. And with that comes unplanned talk that I have for you today. So this is again something that usually comes up when I'm working with my private clients. It is the way that I've started living my life, and one of my clients so generously reminded me today. She said, what's that thing that you called it? You called it divine timing. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about divine timing because it's easy to... So many things in life start happening. And when life starts happening to you instead of for you, then the fear and worry or overthinking or overwhelm tend to come in. And it can happen it happens to everybody at some point in time. And what's fascinating is what normally you can handle really, really well, the next person that may be an anxiety point for them or a struggle for them. Most of the clients that I tend to work with, if you give them anything business related, they are going to make it and figure it out within a course of moments. And if they can't, they're going to nail it really as soon as they possibly can. Whereas they might struggle with their communication with their loved ones or their personal or private relationships. So sometimes that worry and that fear can come in certain aspects of our life and not other aspects of our life, which makes me think about I want to do the wheel of life with you guys. I want to do that sometime soon. That's a fun exercise to do. So one of the things that if you identify there's a certain type of life lesson that normally isn't working well for you. So let's say your finances, your relationships, your self-care or your health or your wellness. Let's say your communication style. Let's say it's your hobbies. Let's say it's your career or for those of you that are retired, if it's your community involvement. If any of those areas seem off, and some of that comes from the Wheel of Life, I'll do that with you all at some point as an exercise. If any of that seems off, there's that's usually the areas where you are going to specifically have fear or overwhelm or overthinking, worry, anxiety, depression, any of that. Okay? Usually we get anxious over things because we're thinking forward with it. Usually we get depressed over things that have already happened in the past that then we can't really come back to, or we feel as if we can't come back to it. But one of the things that I do with my private clients is when we can identify specifically what's going on with the fear or worry. Okay, so those little things that I've just listed, think about those categories. If you identify where that worry or that overwhelm is coming from, then you can start opening up the heart, living from what I call the core, finding your core confidence so that you can approach it with a place of love. Because life really is a mirror. So if I am overwhelmed, let's say I'm overwhelmed with moving, huge possibility, right? Most people who have ever moved get overwhelmed with moving. If I stay in that place, then that's going to continue to come back to me. I am then going to be in experiences where that is mirrored. Does that make sense? Leave it in the comments if that makes sense or not. So we want to make sure that what we are mirroring is coming from a great place. So when I think about moving, when I identify that I'm overwhelmed, which definitely happens at times, I then want to make sure that I'm pausing, that I'm taking a breath, that I'm relaxing any areas of my body that are tense. So you want to be aware of any of your areas of the body that get tense. And then from there, I want to open up into divine timing, into a sense of love and wow, what is possibility? Let me open up into possibility. Because from there, moving suddenly is not so overwhelming. It's more enjoyable. It's kind of like when you first start a project, like the way I usually, like before I'm supposed to pack boxes, oh my gosh, I'm like, whoa, I find like 50,000 things to do. I'm not ready at all and I don't want to do it. But then as I get into it, right, as you get into a project and you find that groove, you're like, oh yeah, I can do this. I've got this. This makes a lot of sense. Okay, here I am. I know what I want to do now. We find that energy. And so that is what's possible. But what we can do is make it even a little bit better than that. So if I'm, as we use the example of moving, if I'm going to be moving, I want to make sure, and I need to pack some boxes, I can go, okay, I really don't prefer to be overwhelmed about this right now. I want to make this easy. So I hit the easy button. Remember that? Was it like the Staples? Was it the Staples easy button? Where we hit the easy button and we go, you know what? I want to make this fun. I want to make this enjoyable. I want to come with a relaxed self. I don't want to be all tense. I want to be relaxed. And that's what I am choosing to do. So then that's what gets mirrored. It has been the most wonderful moving experience. And the fact that we have had so many wonderful key people, and you know who you are, who have like come in to assist us in big ways, small ways, and it's all big ways because it's just been so welcomed. And my pattern is usually to not really accept help, right? To kind of like squirrel away and not really allow that. But when you're acting from a place of love, and if you can do that, so even sitting as you are right now or wherever you are, if you're watching the replay or you're catching it live, see if you notice any tension in your body. And if you notice any tension, see if you can just let that soften. So if your shoulders are tense, let them relax. If your heart feels kind of crunched, see if you can open it. If your abdomen feels tight, see if you can let that go a little bit. What does that feel like? Leave it in the comments. Does that work for you? Is that something that helps? Because when you do that, when you release the tension, then you can go into the state of more like what we call letting go, but you're physically manifesting it to where you can finally be open to what we call divine timing. So divine timing is something that is available to anybody at all the time. You've probably had it happen to you before where like, you didn't expect anything at all to help you with a certain situation or help you in that particular way. And all of a sudden, poof, there's somebody magically there to assist. Like your car breaks down and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be on the side of the road forever. And then voila, comes there some magical little person who's there and they're wonderful and they're exactly what you need in the moment. That's divine timing. And so you have the possibility when we're overwhelmed, when we're worried, when we're fearful, when we're questioning, and like all that stuff is okay. We just don't need to be there forever. But when we're in that contracted state, physically and mentally, we're not really open. We're not really seeing the assistance that's there for us. Like of just people and resources and anything, like the sky, the sun, any of it, being there to support us. Whereas when we can physically relax the muscles, create a little space in the mind, open the heart so that we are open and available for possibility. Close your eyes and feel what that's like to be open for possibility. For like, wow, what is possible? Whatever it is that you're trying to improve in your life, physically right now, feel what it's like by closing your eyes to feel what is possible for you. It is a sensation. The same way that you've had it if you've ever gone out on a first date and you're anxiously awaiting those first few moments where somebody comes to pick you up or that you're about to go meet them, it's this anticipation, this in your body. It's this beautiful excitement that you can physically feel. So that's what you want to be open to, is this possibility of, wow, how can X, Y, or Z get better? Wow, how can I have more financial abundance? I wonder what's possible for me today. I wonder what check is randomly waiting in the mail, right? I wonder what's possible to me today when it comes in terms of relationships. Let me be open and relaxed to that. I wonder what's possible for somebody to help me. I've been feeling alone lately. Whatever it is, I wonder what's possible for my career. Think of those things, okay? So divine timing is available to everyone. It is available to everyone. It is amazing when it happens to you, and it just creates like surprise in life. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm always looking to get back to being like the kid in the candy store. And when I started living my life in terms of divine timing, then all of that worked out. I get to do that all the time. I had that today. Somebody dropped off a beautiful Christmas card, and within it was something that I was not in the least bit expecting. I immediately burst into tears of just joy. And fascinatingly enough, on the front of the card said joy. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So this does not mean that life is just consistently all positive or all glamorous or whatever that is. Times can be hard. There could be sadness. Of course, there's always fear, but we don't want any of these worrying and overthinking to constantly take over our life. That is not the way you need to live. I want to help you move beyond this fear and worry and like, things really can't get any better, to a place of empowered core confidence where you know that life is working for you in all areas of your life instead of against you. So I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. I know I will. I'm about to get on a client call. And if you have any questions, comments, reach out to me. I'm here for you. And know that while I don't have any more client openings for new clients in December, starting in January, I will. And pretty soon I'll be announcing I'm going to be doing a free live meditation to kick off the new year, something that I love to do. So if you want to be involved with that, send me a message with your email address and I will put you on that list. Otherwise, you'll keep hearing about it as we move on. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Mwah. Thank you for listening.